Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Max Timms with your 3 o'clock bulletin. Britain's breakthrough tennis star is set to play in the Transylvanian Open quarter-finals this evening. Emma Raducanu beat Anna Bogdan in straight sets yesterday to make her way through. I'm joined by our tennis reporter Ryan Shepherd. Ryan, what do you think about the rise she's had at such a young age?
Thank you, Max. Well, Emma's rise has been quite exceptional, really. I mean, she came into Wimbledon as a wild card, not expecting to get very far in the competition. She impressed there, went to the US Open, and to everybody's surprise, she went on to win the tournament. So I'd say that everybody has been quite surprised by how well she's particularly done and how well she's handled the pressure in such huge tournaments.
What effect do you think she's had on tennis in this country and for the younger generation?
Well, the younger generation, I think, will be feeling inspired by Emma, as let's not forget, she's only 18 years of age. She was the youngest female to win the US Open when she beat Leylah Fernandez in September. So you've got to look at it and think that it must be inspiring for anybody that was, trying to get into the tennis world, wanted to play tennis, just be a bit inspiring, really.
Cheers, Ryan. And make sure to tune in to the 4 o'clock bulletin, where we will have more on Raducanu's rise. England women will be facing Northern Ireland in Southampton at next year's Euros. The draw has seen the Lionesses put in a group with Austria and Norway, along with Kenny Shell's women. St Mary's Stadium will also be hosting Northern Ireland's other two group games, whilst the final is set to be held at Wembley. A legendary midfielder is set to take charge of one of Europe's biggest clubs. Xavi, who played for Barcelona for 17 years, was contacted on Wednesday's night by the board and is expected to take charge immediately. The hunt for a new manager started as former Saints boss Ronald Koeman was sacked after a long run of bad defeats, which has left the Catalan side sat 9th in La Liga. Rumours have circulated about a possible return for Koeman to Southampton. These are the thoughts of Southampton fans.
Well, he'd done a good job years ago, so why not bring him back and do a better job than it's done now?
I think right now, in terms of Ralph Hasenhüttl, I think he is good. Whether he can take us to that next step, I would take Ronald Koeman. I think he's a good manager.
I think the fans would welcome him back. I think, somebody you knew.
I think it'd be very difficult because he burnt his bridges.
The National League continues this weekend, which promises to bring drama-filled action across the country. Most locally, Eastleigh will face Maidenhead and will be hoping to get back to winning ways following their 1-0 defeat to Chesterfield midweek. The Spitfires have had a mixed start to the season as they are sat 13th in the league, but their impressive home form, which has seen the side unbeaten in their last 5 games, will give the South Coast side confidence ahead of their match tomorrow. Manager Ben Strevens has outlined that Maidenhead will be a tough team to face.
Look, it'll be a tough game. They caused us some problems in the past playing against Maidenhead. They've won their last couple of games, but we feel really confident at the Silver Lake. Our form last year was very good at home. We lost against Wrexham on the first day of the season, and then since then we've been very good as well. So look, we seem to be having a good atmosphere building around the ground.
Make sure to tune in to our 4 o'clock bulletin for a more detailed match preview. Ralph Hasenhüttl has revealed a mixed bag of injury news. Armando Broja has been ruled out with an ankle injury, but James Ward-Prowse is returning from suspension. They travel to Watford tomorrow, who find themselves 2 points above the South Coast side. Watford ran out 5-2 victors against Everton last weekend. Claudio Ranieri is still buzzing about the hat-trick hero, Josh King.
I didn't remember him very, very well, no? And I make my well done to him, but not for the hat-trick. How he played, very, very well. He hold the ball. He give the time to the other teammates to come and close every action.
The title race is hotting up in the Premier League. Liverpool host Brighton tomorrow, while Manchester City host Crystal Palace. Just 2 points separate the top 3, with Chelsea travelling to Newcastle. All 3 will be looking to build on their dominant wins last weekend after they scored a combined 16 goals. Manchester United travel to Tottenham as they look to put their bad form to rest. The Red Devils lost 5-0 to Liverpool last weekend. United captain Harry Maguire thinks they only have themselves to blame.
I hope every player in these dressing rooms looking at themselves, taking full responsibilities on their shoulders and not pointing the finger and blaming anyone else, because you look at yourselves first and foremost when you have a result like this in a period like this. We let the manager down against Liverpool, we let the fans down, we let the club down, us as players.
Despite lots of criticism being levelled at him, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says he's still fighting for the job.
I've been through some very bad moments here as a player, when I've been a coach and a manager as well. I've had to deal with setbacks. There's probably been 2 or 3 crises at least. One thing I can say is that I'll always give it a good shot and fight back.
Britain's first ever Winter Paralympics champion has announced her retirement. The visually impaired skier Kelly Gallagher has been targeting 1 more Games. However, she is due to give birth to a second child around the time the Beijing Games begins on the 4th of March. Gallagher won gold in the Super G category at the Sochi Games in 2014, when the Bangor native and her guide Charlotte Evans clocked 1 minute 28.72 seconds. A group of 10 former players are suing the rugby league for negligence. The ex-pros say playing the sport has left them with brain damage, and the authority did not take reasonable precautions. Former St Helens captain Bobby Golding is part of the group after being diagnosed with early onset dementia and probable CTE. South African cricketer Quinton de Kock has now said he'd be happy to take the knee. This comes after he made himself unavailable for their T20 clash against the West Indies for refusing the gesture. De Kock has since apologised for his actions, but we're still yet to see if he'll be allowed back for the match against Sri Lanka. The Cricket T20 World Cup continues today. The West Indies versus Bangladesh is reaching its conclusion with just 5 overs left in the match. West Indies finished with a score of 142 for 7, with Roston Chase and Nicholas Pooran proving to be the most effective batsmen, with them equating 39 and 40 runs respectively. With just 5 overs remaining, Bangladesh trail by 44 runs. 2 cricket heavyweights will face each other in the 14th Super 12 match of 2021 in the T20 World Cup tomorrow. The Australia and England match will be held in Dubai. England captain Owen Morgan is well aware of the challenge his side face. As outlined, he believed that Australia are joint second favourites along with England. Notably, both sides have enjoyed 2 successive victories in Group 1 and are both favourites to progress. Tyson Fury is in search for his next opponent. The Gypsy King finished his trilogy against Deontay Wilder with a knockout win. Promoter Eddie Hearn has backed Dillian Whyte to be Fury's next fight, saying it would for sure fill stadiums. Top rank boss Bob Arum says they're in the process of setting a date for his next fight.
Frank Warren is, I talked to him this morning, and he's going to go up to Manchester to meet with Tyson Fury, and we'll work out a date. It could be in March, it could be in April, but no later than April.
If you don't want to wait an hour for your next update, you can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Solent Sports News. But for now, that's all from us. We'll see you at 4 o'clock for our next bulletin.